Sai Ram. Recently, I came to hear of a very interesting miracle of our beloved Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Now, there is a brother, a dear brother, who narrated this to me. He has no problem with his gender being mentioned, that's all. He doesn't want his name to be known, his place, his age, nothing else that can identify him, because he's scared that somebody's nazar, evil eye, can fall on him. And in case you're wondering what is this nazar or evil eye, well, have a look at this link above, where there's a beautiful experience and an explanation of this evil eye. But then the miracle is so stupendous that I told him that I'm going to share it without sharing his name. So what happened to this brother is a feeling of incompleteness after Swami left the physical in April 2011. He had darshans of Swami, he has received Pad Namaskar, he has got photographs with Swami, and yet he felt that all that he wanted from Swami, he cherished, he had yearned for, he had pined for and craved for, he could not get. And he was thinking that Swami will be there till 2022, and that got cut short, and therefore he said, Swami, I will never experience what I wanted to. How will I get? How will I get? How will I get? When he was wondering like this and yearning, craving and pining, Swami answered him in an interesting manner, in his dreams. In his dreams, Swami would start appearing and Swami would speak to him, console him, give him love, make him feel happy, and all that he yearned for, Swami began to confer on him. But then our dear brother was not satisfied. He woke up in the morning and he said, Swami, I know that you have said that you coming in the dream is as good as you coming in real life. But Swami, for me it doesn't feel like that. Because Swami, when I wake up in the morning, I know that it was a dream. It is just a dream. You say this life itself is a dream, but for me it feels very real, Swami. But the dream feels definitely like a dream. So I will not be satisfied with this. And then Swami decided to sort this out with another dream. Swami comes in the dream and tells him, why are you thinking like this? I am very close to you, I am very dear to you. Swami showers love, grace and blessings on him. And in the end, Swami says, look, I am giving you something. And then Swami waves his palm, materializes a ring, and then makes this brother remove his wedding ring, put this ring, and then place the wedding ring over it, so that the ring that Swami has given to him can be safe and secure. And Swami tells him that, see, the next time you feel that Swami is not dear to you, Swami is not close to you, remember all of this by just looking at the ring. You look at the ring and you will remember. And then he woke up. He woke up and no, it had felt so real. He felt that finally I am getting everything that I wanted, but then again that's a dream. And he immediately began to complain to Swami. He said, Swami, you have done it again. You said that whenever I feel that I am not dear to you and I am not getting what I want, I should just look at the ring. But Swami, that was a dream. So when I look, and he stopped mid-sentence. His jaw had dropped. Because on that ring finger behind his wedding band was this ring that Swami had given to him in the dream. I receive many mails, messages and comments asking me to share about miracles that have happened after Swami's Mahasamadhi. Well, there are two things that I would like to say to all those who have written so lovingly to me about this. The first thing is that though I can share such miracles, I am very, very attached to this beautiful form. The form mesmerizes me, and the stories that are related to this form attract me so much that I find myself yielding to the temptation over and over again of sharing those stories. And the second point is, I have indeed shared many such miracles on this very channel. For instance, the miracle with the passport. It is there at this link above. That miracle had left my jaw dropped down and left me astounded, thrilled, and I was stupefied. at what happened, and you too will be when you go through the details of that story. Because it made me realize that Swami doesn't call attention to his miracle like possibly a magician calls to his tricks to impress the audience. He just keeps doing miracles spontaneously. Chamatkar is his swabhav. What is ashcharyam for you, Swami would say, what is amazing for you is sahajam for me, is natural for me. He keeps doing them so naturally. I started this by narrating an amazing miracle about a ring, right? I too personally had a miracle related to a ring. That has been documented in this link above. Again, this happened many years after Swami's Mahasamadhi, and it left an indelible impression on all of us. So when I look back at life from 2011 till now, I find so many miracles that I decided to narrate 3 such experiences which possibly can be grouped together under one category. All these 3 have happened in the span of 1 year. Every time I am invited to travel to a place to give talks and share about Swami, I always pray to Swami to show his presence with me. And most of the time, how it happens is through an empty seat right next to me. You won't believe the number of times there is an empty seat right next to me. And therefore, when it comes to selection of seats, I don't do anything at all, because I say, Swami, you select my seats. In the February of 2023, I had to travel to Australia and New Zealand, and it was a last minute plan. Now, when this happened, as tickets were being booked, I saw that the rates for these tickets were exorbitant. And I told my hosts that I don't think it is wise to spend this much on a ticket, let's call it off. Then they said, no brother, you don't understand, it is Swami for us, so no problem, you don't worry about the ticket cost. Well, that is their love for Swami. I did not feel comfortable. So I told my Swami that, Swami, out of love for you, they're doing all this, but I don't feel comfortable traveling at this exorbitant cost. You won't believe it. The very next day, I got a phone call where they said that we have managed to get a ticket at that cost. And I said, why did you go ahead? I told you to wait. They said, but listen, it is a ticket not just from Bangalore to Sydney. It's a ticket that covers Bangalore to Sydney, Sydney to Auckland, Auckland to Sydney, and Sydney back to Bangalore. A complete round trip for the same cost. What else do you say other than it being Swami's grace and miracle? So, when I was going to the airport, I knew that since this was the last ticket that was issued to me, there will be no empty seats on the plane. So I said, Swami, every time you show to me your presence with an empty seat next to me, this flight is full. So there will be no chance for you to show your presence in that manner. But Swami, somehow, please bless me. I am going very, very far from a geographical perspective. It will be nice if the journey begins with your name. I had barely completed saying this when somebody next to me said, Sai Ram. I looked at them and I said, Sai Ram. They said that, are you Swami's devotee? I said, yes. How did you know? The Vibhuti on your forehead. Oh, Sai Ram. And needless to say, it was a beautiful satsang, a beautiful beginning to this journey. A small thing as far as the world is concerned, but it means the world to a small thing like me. And after that, it was the April of 2023. I was traveling to the United States for an international conference that was being held at Sai Premaniliyam, a magnificent temple to Bhagawan, so beautiful. As I entered the plane, once again, the same prayer. Swami, I hope the seat next to me will be empty, because that will be like proof of you traveling with me. But then I got to know that the seat next to me is not empty. So then I said, Swami, some way you should show your presence. even as I opened my eyes, my neighbor came to the seat. A broad smile blossomed on my face because this gentleman was wearing a fiery orange t-shirt. This gentleman happened to know only Telugu. Who do we know who speaks Telugu and is dressed in orange? Well, he was traveling for the first time to Canada to go meet his daughter, and he told me to speak to his daughter, who told me that her parents have no clue how to do the change of flight in Qatar, where we land in Doha. Could you please help them catch their connecting flight? I said, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. And after I did this, this gentleman told me, I don't know whether you will believe it or not, but for me, you were like my God. With tears in my eyes, I told this gentleman, I don't know if you will believe it or not, but for me, you were like my God. The third episode too involved a travel, and this time it was to Sri Lanka to attend another international conference. Again, this conference too was so magnificent, attended by nearly 1,000 people. So much of vibes of Swami, so much of seva, so much of discussion, so much of satsang. Beautiful. By now, as I said, I had stopped praying and asking also Swami to show his presence, because I felt whatever happens, just go with the flow, and it is Swami's doing. And so I had not selected any seat. I had to take a flight from Bangalore to Chennai and from Chennai to Jaffna. As I went to take my boarding pass, I requested whether I could get either an aisle seat or a window seat. I requested, and they said, okay, we'll give you an aisle, 7C. Thank you. As I entered the aircraft, the air hostess comes to me and says, sir, our aircraft is not full, and therefore, to balance the weight in the aircraft, we have allotted another seat to you. Would you mind occupying there? Is it an aisle or a window? I asked. It's a window. Sure, I said, and they took me to 26A or something like that. So another seat. I just went with the flow. And not just one, two, all the seats next to me were empty. And I said, oh Swami, I think you're traveling with me to Chennai, lying down on the seats. Even as I thought this, an elderly lady walks up to me and says, do you mind if I sit in the aisle seat here? I said, suit yourself, auntie, no problem. And she sat. I couldn't help notice that the sari she was wearing and the shirt that I was wearing were exactly the same color. What a coincidence. In an aircraft with 50 or 60 people, two of us are wearing the exact same colored dresses. As the plane took off, we got into conversation. This auntie seemed good at making conversations, and she kept asking me questions. Now I told her about the Sri Sathya Sai organization, about Swami, and she said, Sathya Sai Baba? I said, yeah. She said, oh, you know, my mother-in-law, she is a devotee of this Baba. Which means, you're not a devotee, was what was going on in my head. She says, I don't say I'm a devotee, but I've had some amazing experiences. Very recently, I saw that I am having a very peculiar experience in life. I used to get dreams of snakes. And when I see a big snake in my dream, my husband falls sick. When I see a medium-sized snake, I fall sick. And then when I see a small snake, my son falls sick. Irrespective of when I see the snake, if there is a snake in the dream, one of us is sure to fall sick. What do you make of it? I said, it's just bizarre. She said, now, once again my mother-in-law told me to pray to this Sai Baba. And I prayed. And guess what? Within a few days, I had a dream in which Swami came. And then he asked me, what is your problem? I said, Swami, my problem is... And at that very instant, there were three snakes. A big snake, a medium snake, and a small snake. I said, Swami, this is my problem, Swami. And Swami said, don't worry. He went and started a truck. He drove the truck and came near me, and that truck was a dumpster truck filled with sand. He reversed the truck and emptied that sand onto each of these snakes. All the three snakes were buried in the sand. Then Swami got down from the truck, came and said, you don't worry, it's all fine. And after that, for years now, I have not had any snake dream. I have not had any of us falling ill because of that. And then that was enough to open me up. I began to share my experiences with Swami. It was a beautiful satsang. 40 minutes passed like 4 minutes. We landed in the airport. We exchanged our contact numbers. We exchanged where we stay. And what an amazing coincidence that she stays just a few kilometers away from my house in Bangalore. In conclusion, dear brothers and sisters, Swami's presence is vibrant and his miracles continue to touch the lives of millions. If you want your life also to be touched like that, you just need to seek from him. Don't ask anybody, don't check with anybody. Yearn, pine and pray. Who knows, you may find a ring on your finger or a chain around your neck. Whatever may be the result of this yearning, let us pray that because of this yearning, dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.